Hi guys, I thought I would share with you my bullet journal for January 2019 and just give you a little bit of an update on bullet journaling for me in general. As most of you know, this is how I kind of entered into the cult of the planning world, as it's affectionately called by quite a few people. And a bullet journal is something I always keep coming back to. A lot of the key features I tend to use within my other planners as well anyway. So it's kind of like one of those things that I really like to keep going, mainly because no other planner I've come across has enough space for me to record all of my dailies when I'm at work. So that's why I'm still keeping it going for the moment. Now, one thing I've had a problem with is the speed I go through bullet journals. So this is volume number 20 in 2 and a bit years. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of how quickly I go through them. And I've stripped a lot of things out of this. This is the most simplistic bullet journal I've ever had. Before we begin, on the basis that I've decided to scrap a whole load of spreads that I never use and waste my time filling out because I go through my planners so quickly. So having read through the bullet journal method and thought, oh, that might work for me a little bit better, and kind of refined my system a little bit, this is the finished product. So I didn't need to start a bullet journal in January. I could have kept going with my old one, but I thought I've kind of got to a point where I want to change how I'm doing things, and so I'm going to go for a fresh start. So this is a Leuchtturm 1917, which I enjoy using, as you know from some of my other videos. It's in one of the newer colours, and I want to say ocean, but I can't remember off the top of my head, so I apologise for that. And I've just stuck one of the vinyl stickers on the front, which is from the Butterflies Creative Pack from Beth Designs. I had some bits left over, so I've used that to kind of start my bullet journal really. It is a vinyl sticker, and I think the colours work really nicely. So that's that. If we open up the front cover, I've just used some of the vellum as a little bit of a decoration from the creative pack, and then I've stuck my word for the year and synonyms around the edge. So I've jumped on the bandwagon of the word of the year. It's something that I kind of tried last year but didn't really work out, and I've chosen faith on the basis of me wanting to have a little bit more faith in myself and a little bit more belief, and I'm trying a faith journey as well this year, so that's kind of all in there. Then I get to the contents page. I've actually filled this out, which makes me feel really, really proud. So this is one of the newer ones, and then this has got the new style contents as well from the Leuchtturm, which people have kind of been anticipating coming, but you cannot really tell. There was no difference on the outside on the packaging between this and other ones that I've had sat on the shelf. So as you can see, there are virtually no collections. So page number 1, I've just gone for a quick grid reference, which I've seen a lot of people do, and actually the dimensions on this are a little bit different, so I thought it would be helpful to have, on the basis that it's no longer 38 and I would confuse myself, but a lot of it's pretty much the same. So that's just in there. Then I have a really plain future log, which doesn't start in January because my bullet journal starts in January. So what's the point? It starts in February and then goes, I have like a beyond section for anything beyond. Now this is me being hopeful that I will use my future log a little bit more as intended. I haven't put any monthly overviews in there, partly because it's just too fiddly at the moment with my hand, and partly because I just want the space to record whatever. So if I know that something's coming up on a particular date, I can just write the date and what it is. If it's just a task that he's doing, I can just stick it in there. So that is half a page per month and then a little bit extra. And then I have a blank double spread. Now this is actually accidental. I turned over 2 pages when I started January because there wasn't anything else I wanted to include in the front of my bullet journal. It's literally just a future log, because if I go through this quickly, I'm going to have to transfer everything. I wasn't using most of them anyway, and the ones I want to use I've actually put in the back of my passion planner for the year, so I have got them in a planner that will see me through hopefully 12 months. Then we have the start of January. So this seems a little bit disjointed because I decided, you know what, I'm gonna have a cover page, even though it's something I don't normally do. Again, this is all vellum background that I've just stuck to the page. And I wasn't actually going to have a habit tracker, so I set up my month for January and then thought, you know what, I do want to have one for now. I haven't 100% decided what's going in here. I have a master list in my current bullet journal that I'm working on and refining and seeing if I actually want to keep it or get rid of it. So I don't normally do cover pages, but I've gone for it. And actually this kind of works because I wanted a monthly that looked like this. So I have a very small calendar, which was inspired by Ricardo at the Boosted Journal, and he just does dots and then records dates. I've colour coded my dots, and this is kind of how I'm going for now. I like this. This is kind of how my future log will work anyway, so the same sort of idea, so I'll just record the date and what's going on. And then like I suppose it's kind of like an inbox. Going back through reading the bullet journal method, and the whole point of having like your calendar and your task list side by side really kind of made sense to me, and why I'd stopped doing it I don't know. In fact I don't think I've ever really done that, and so I wanted to go back to this and try it. So I haven't filled anything out yet on the task list. I know there's loads of things I need to do, but I'm not in the space yet. Then I've got a week by week breakdown of the month. So on this side I'm going to record everything to do with my life planned out and videos and blog posts and things that are coming up. And then this is a week by week, which is taken kind of loosely from Lisa Jacobs in her Your Best Yearbooks, where she kind of has a plan where you can record things week by week of what's going on, which I thought would be helpful just to kind of see like the hot spots in the month, so to speak, because of what's going on. And then that's it for my monthly. So my monthly is technically 4 pages and a habit tracker. As I said, I've stripped loads out. And then this is my first week. So again, umming, thinking about what to do. Playing around with bullet journaling after reading the bullet journal method. I was finding I was recording like 1.5 page dailies again, which is part of the reason I go through bullet journals so quickly. So I've gone for a little bit of a hybrid weekly daily combo that I've played around with a little bit, but not massively. So this bit is actually inspired by the Happy Planner dashboard layout, which has on a 2-page spread, it has one side which is like this basically, and another side that has sort of headings like to do, to buy, calls, things like that. So this gives me that overview of what's going on in the week, and I could add in day specific tasks that need to happen. So I know, for example, on Friday this is due, so I know on Thursday I need to have made sure I've written it and taken the photos. So I could put that in there. I haven't, but I could do. Also, kind of this little brain dump at the start of the week. I've already done some just things that were in my head that I needed to record down that are relevant to this week. And then I'm going to write tasks. Now I've split the page in half because I think this will actually make me be a little bit more aware of space. And my 1.5 page dailies might take up a page-ish, but I can continue this on. So that's it. That is my super simple setup. There is going to be a little bit of playing around in January, as I'm sure I've said already in another video. While I had in my head how I wanted to plan, things change all of the time, and the way you feel about things changes all the time, and then suddenly everybody gets all sorts of things and they share it online and you think, oh, that's a really good idea, oh, that could really work, and so you kind of change how you feel about things. But anyway, so that's my bullet journal setup that I'm actually really excited to use, and we'll see how many months I get out of it. I'm kind of hoping I'd like to get 3. If I get 3 out of it, then that'll be a really good effective use of space. I know there's people that have a whole year or more in one notebook, and I just don't get it. But anyway, that's just people plan in different ways, and that's totally okay. So there we go. I hope that was useful to see a really stripped back bullet journal. I know we shouldn't compare our journals to each other, but maybe it's given some people some slightly different ideas. And yeah, if you've got any suggestions of what you might want to see in the way I use my bullet journal, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll be back soon with another video, guys. Happy planning.